I'd like to call the Baldwin City Council meeting for April 14th, 2025 to order, please. If you will rise and join me for the invocation and pledge. Father God, thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for bringing us all together to do the work of the city. Please protect our first responders and all our residents in the city as always. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item on our agenda this evening is the consent agenda, approval of minutes, city council meeting 3/24/25 and work session 4/8/25. Has everybody had a chance to read them? Yes. Any comments, questions, concerns? No? Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Councilman Venter. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second from Councilwoman Lehman. Happy birthday, by the way. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Maria Machado, if you want to come forward, please. And council, is there information for all the council members?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, you have about 4 or 5 minutes to talk.
So my name is Maria Machado. I'm a senior at Haversham Central High School, and I'm here about the St. Dominic refurbishment project down the road. It used to be the old 6th grade academy, and to help me, I brought Jeff Roach to help me explain a little bit to you guys what we're here for.
So like Maria said, my name is Jeff Roach. I'm just a volunteer kind of project manager for this refurbishment. And so, St. Mark Catholic Church up in Clarksville has had ownership of this, of the elementary school for quite a few years now. And we've really seen the need to be present in this area, the Cornelia Baldwin area. And when the school came about, we saw that it was a great, in a sense, a gift from God at that point, that we were able to buy it and begin to use it. We have School of Religion there with 400 kids, every week. So we're using all the classrooms. And now the size of the little chapel that we created has gotten too small. And so we've been working on refurbishing, and right now we've kind of regutted the inside of the old gymnasium and have been working on refurbishing it based on the kind of the pictures that you guys have there. And so, this has been coming about little by little, really through the donations of a lot of the parishioners, of the local people in the area. A lot of the work has been donated. The contractors and the general contractor donated his time, and like myself, I'm donating my time to be there. And so, little by little, we've been able to do probably over $500,000 already in work. But there's still a lot more to go. One of the biggest things that we have right now is to replace the roof. The roof is leaking like crazy, hasn't been taken care of in years, so it needs to be replaced. We're about halfway there to get the coverage, but we kind of need a little bit of help, and so that's why we're reaching out to the local areas. We've been talking to a lot of different businesses and a lot of different places, and they've been very supportive of us, very happy. And so we're looking for whatever help we can find. Spreading the word through donations, through contributions. It is nonprofit, so everything can be tax deductible for the donations. And the reason why we're even here and willing to donate our time is just because we see how much it's helped us personally, but also the neighborhood. Since we've been there, we've seen the vandalism of the building has stopped. Everybody was afraid, don't put in new windows because people are just going to break them. But honestly, nobody's touched them since. So, and then even we've noticed there was some drug issues in the field and different things like that. And so we. Just by being there and being more present and doing these things, even that now has gone away. We haven't had those problems anymore. So for us, we see it as a big help for us personally, but also for the neighboring areas, to help give a place of beauty, where people, not necessarily even have to be Catholic, but just to give a place that people feel welcome, that they can go. There'll be a plaza courtyard that people can spend time in. If they want to go inside, they feel this, in a sense, a kind of a peacefulness, a place that they can rest. And so really that's kind of what we're asking for. So Appreciate your guys' time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Maria?
You know, I really appreciate what you all are trying to do there, and I want to go by and see it for myself as well. One of the things that people don't realize is small projects that appear small on a grand scale, really, it's cumulative.
Mhm.
You know, next thing you know, place next door does the same.
Mhm.
Before you know it, it benefits the whole city. You know, all I can say is I will definitely spread the word on my end, and I wish you all the best. And if there's anything that we can help with, please contact us. My contact details are on the website. All of our contact details are on our website. Please contact us, and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you very much. Yeah, everybody's more than welcome. I'm usually there every day, so you just stop by and I'll give you a tour.
Could you leave your phone number with our clerk?
Yes.
Please, so I can be in touch with you. And then we will take this under advisement, talk about it, and then we'll have CAO Woodmaster get back to you with some information. But this is on Facebook Live. Hopefully somebody else is listening, and Maria, we appreciate you as a Highland Lawn resident, you know, coming in and talking to us. You are talking to Cornelia as well, right?
Yes.
The city of Cornelia, okay. So thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully the folks on Facebook Live can hear this.
Do you have email too?
As a former parishioner of St. Mark's, I understand the growing pains that they've had. I mean, since I joined the church 25 years ago, they've put in a new sanctuary, and they've been just busting at the seams. So I see the need here this end of the county for St. Dominic. We wish you all good luck, but you'll hear from me.
Very good.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in. Are there any other Gulfport residents who have business with the city who would like to come forward? Seeing none, we'll move on. There are no public hearings or reports. Under old business, there's consideration approval of the Public Works vac truck. It's just with us. You all had time, you received the information that you had requested. Yeah.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Happy birthday. Again. I'm going to say it as many times as I can.
Don't say it.
All right, so a couple of weeks ago, we brought before the council an opportunity to purchase a vac truck for the Public Works Department through the GMA GMA lease program that we did similar to the fire department. So this lease would begin, our first payment would be due a year after we receive those funds to get that vehicle. There is a 6-month lead time on the purchase of the vac truck. So even though this decision is coming in this fiscal year, it won't take effect until the following fiscal year, fiscal year 2027. Scott did discuss all of the details. I believe the mayor and Nance
Yes,
went
Councilwoman
and
Lehman
went,
also
yes,
came to the demo.
yes, and saw the demo of the vac truck that they are proposing to get. Is there any questions that you guys have about it? Do you have all the information that you need?
Oh, you said no, I didn't have this. Okay, any other questions, anything? All right, can I have a motion to approve the purchase of a Public Works vac truck through GMA's lease program and to authorize the CAO to execute the agreement as presented? I have a motion from Councilman Keith. Do I have a second? I have a second from Councilman Venter. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Tell Scott, you're doing good out.
He's watching.
Okay. Hey, Scott. Congrats. All right. Under new business, we have consideration approval of Mountain Judicial Circuit MOUs.
I'm going to let Justin explain to you what this is and why it's coming before council.
Okay.
There it is.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so this MOU is the Mountain Judicial Circuit MOU is based off the, so there's 3 accountability courts in Habersham County. We have drug court, mental health court, and family treatment court. So essentially, accountability court pays off-duty officers to go out and do surveillance, they'll do drug screens, brief searches, things of that nature, just make sure people are where they're supposed to be after their curfew, that sort of thing, to hold people accountable that are going through the program. Most of the time over the years in Habersham County anyway, it's been handled by sheriff's deputies. Right now they only have one that's doing it, so not really sure why, but they need some more help. And so I've got in with the courts, and essentially we worked out everything, and the sheriff gave his blessing, the judge gave his blessing. I'm not taking enforcement action of any kind. If something like that were to arise, of course it would come from whatever jurisdiction we're in. There is a very large portion of the people that are on the list that are actually inside the city limits of Baldwin. I would say it's 35–40% of the participants actually inside the city limits of Baldwin anyway. But the MOU was originally created between me, the accountability court, and the sheriff. And then we went back and forth with Bubba as to how, because generally you're going to drive a government vehicle to handle stuff like this, obviously. That way you have access to your radio and other equipment in case of an emergency. But then there's the aspect of, as assistant chief, I'm essentially on call 24/7. With the K-9, I'm on call 3 to 4 days a week, depending on when Corporal Groves is working. He takes the days that he's already on shift, so for 12 hours he's not on shift, he's on call. The other days of the week, I'm on call. And then every third week, I'm on call for 7 straight days for CID purpose, for investigative purposes. So essentially, they added the city of Baldwin to this MOU for the purpose of covering me for using city vehicle to conduct their surveillance and that sort of thing. But also our policy says that we can use the vehicle for such, I guess, off-duty jobs, or however you want to word it, so long as we're on call and that sort of thing. So, as I stated, essentially I'm on call 24/7 for one thing or another anyway. That's really, the meat and potatoes of it is just, this agreement says that I'll be covered in the performance of these duties and that I'm good to drive the city vehicle while handling the accountability court.
Is Nikos involved in this at all?
If he would have to be, then we could use him, but, he would be with me. But as a general practice,
No.
no.
Good.
Yeah, if something were to arise that, they suspect drugs are in the house, the local jurisdiction requests me to run the house with Nikos, obviously we would. But am I gonna bring him out and do it on my own? No.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the other plus to this too, is instead of trying to use a personal vehicle to do it, is I have the dog there. So if chief were to call me and say, hey, we got, whatever kind of situation here, I can immediately break off from there versus driving, 3/4 way across the county and swapping into my truck, getting my dog and coming back out to handle that business.
And with only one sheriff deputy doing this right now, is there a backlog
Oh,
of
yeah.
cases?
Yeah, there was months where people haven't been seen, and some of them have last visit dates of 2023. So, not 100% sure how accurate that is, but I want to say the longest one I could think of was November of 23. But there's one sheriff's deputy, one state probation officer, and then that would add me to the list as well.
So this would be basically surveilling people who might be violating probation or parole. What kind of situations would?
Some of them are on probation, but the vast majority are just participating in the drug court or family court. So they have a curfew. They range anywhere from 8 p.m. to midnight. So generally we would see them dependent upon their curfew. So if it's 8 o'clock, I'm going to wait till at least 5 minutes after 8, something like that. Go by and visit. That's the number one factor. Are they home when they're supposed to be?
Okay.
They have instant drug screens. They have saliva swabs for, obviously, I'm not going to go to a restroom with a female, but they have saliva swabs for females and urine screens for males in my case. If there's an issue there, kind of report it up. They send it to a lab and go from there. They want us to do a brief search of the residents. We're not going in there tearing their house apart and that sort of thing, just to, number one, the living conditions, make sure that they have met the standards set forth by the court. Obviously, there's no plain view contraband or anything along those lines. Making sure that if they have family living in the house, that children are well taken care of, they don't look abused, and just the general, number one, are they following the law? Number two, are they taking care of their family, taking care of their house, and their normal responsibilities?
Thank you.
Anybody from Cornelia or other municipalities participating?
No. As far, and I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but as far as the salary itself is concerned, it is paid from the court directly to me. As far as salary and all that goes, it's not coming from the city of Baldwin.
What about as far as like gas for the vehicle and stuff like that?
That would come from general fuel.
I mean, it would behoove us to, for the betterment of the community as a whole. I would think that that's a positive.
Right, because you said a lot of them would have paid involved, right?
Yeah, there is a very large portion. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I can tell you, I don't want to tell you wrong, but I would say there's at least 10 or 12 that are within the city limits of Baldwin by itself, out of probably 30 to 40 people.
Would you be traveling within the entire span of the Mountain Judicial Circuit?
No, ma'am, just Habersham County.
Just have-
They have officers that handle this in each different county, so I'm just within the confines of Habersham.
Anything else? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the MOU with the Mountain Judicial Circuit as presented and to authorize Assistant Chief Ferguson and the CAO to execute the agreement as presented?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Councilman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mayor, did I hear a vote? Yes. Aye, okay, thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, be safe out there.
You will just leave it here.
The next item on our agenda, Ms. Wood, master consideration approval of liability and casualty insurance for FY '26.
All right. If you flip over to page 14 of your packets is the summary of our renewal terms for GIRMA, which is the Georgia Interlocal Risk Management Agency provided to us through GMA. There is an 8% increase to the rates from this year over last year. Last year's increase was 15%, if you recall, so it is lower this year, which we are thankful for. Ours is just under 8%, but 8% nonetheless. The largest increase that we've seen is in our vehicle coverage and our public safety personnel. There's also an increase to public official personnel, which is like city administration, but also the mayor and council. There's been an increase in cases that is causing that to go up across the board for everyone. So that is why there's an increase there. There are a few amendments that they're requesting, or that they've amended in the general agreement that we signed, I believe now 2 years ago with them. The only change that, they're more of clarifying changes to the agreement that's already been signed. And that's that they've added into the description of mobile equipment, all-terrain vehicles. We don't have any, but in the event that we do, it is now covered under that mobile equipment category. And then there is a disclosure in the coverage section of that agreement that talks about supplementary payments. It used to just say supplementary payments, but now it actually, it calls out every type of supplementary payment that they would make in the event that a case has been adjudicated. Other than that, the only other change was in the exclusions section that made it clear that they will not cover failure to maintain property as an eligible expense for insurance. But aside from those changes, they're really just clarifying. There's no major changes to the agreement besides that. And then there's a 7% increase on our general coverage. Any questions?
I have a question on the animal mortality. When we got Nikos, we talked about this. And I think it was $1,000 for Nikos, but now that
That's
we have
correct.
2 dogs.
There's no change.
There's
So
no change.
that $1,000 policy covers as many
Okay.
canines as we needed.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Any questions? Exactly. Can I have a motion to approve the liability and casualty insurance for fiscal year 2026 through GERMA and to authorize the CAO to execute the agreement as presented? I have a motion from Councilwoman Lincoln. Do I have a second? I have a second from Councilman Keith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And the last item on the agenda for the evening is discussion approval of Habersham County Library Board request. This morning I sent to each of you the email that I received last, I believe it was Thursday or Friday, that I received from Dr. Perry Reddick, the Habersham County Library Board Chair. Habersham County Libraries are requesting an annual contribution of $5,000 from us to help offset their insurance costs or state benefit plan. They tell us that the services offered by the libraries remain essential to the community: story time for children, book clubs, print, digital, material access. Did you have any questions on the letter or what our libraries do? We have 2 libraries in Habersham County, one in Clarksville, one in Cornelia. Have you served on the library board? The Friends of the Library. And the rest of you are Banks County folks. We're the only half county. And in the past, I have served on the library board for the county. I know that they do good work. But this is a big ask. This is a big ask. And those of us who are in Habersham County already pay taxes that go to the library. We have a really good relationship too with the Banks County Library folks. They do their mobile unit, Pearl, yeah. Pearl comes in the summertime, once a week, I believe on Fridays, and they do library and food, and it's a great relationship with Banks County Library too. But this is the Habersham County Library that's asking for an annual contribution. Thoughts?
That's a big ask. I don't know how it would work because I don't want to commit the Banks County residents to something or future councils.
Do we do anything for the Banks County Library? Nothing, other than tax dollars.
They use the park.
For the benefit of our residents and area residents.
I know, we turned down a request for County specific.
I mean, I just can't see. I don't know how it would work because I don't want to commit the Banks County residents to something or future councils.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, I just can't see.
here again, we're on Facebook Live, letting people know that our libraries need to be utilized and funded and supported. This is also a conversation to have with the county, right? Because they're in their budget cycle as well. Fully funding our libraries, to me, is important, and if you find it so, please talk to your county commissioners.
It's actually critical, not that, so many kids these days in the library. If we could have some time to mull this over,
But we can have a motion
Yeah.
to table this for a little
if
bit.
we could table it and just think about it a little bit more and see if
Sure.
we can find creative solutions.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to table the Habersham County Library Board funding request?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Benton, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor of tabling this item, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so motion is tabled for now. Where's my agenda? Oh, God, here we go again with the passion.
It's a binder.
I need something. Or if it were electronic, Eric, I could just scroll, right? There being no executive session this evening, we're gonna move right on to announcements. The 26th annual Baldwin Cleanup Day is April 19th, that's this Saturday. Please join us at Mitchell Bailey Park from 9 to 12 to clean up Baldwin roads and plant a tree. Public Works has begun cleanup week pickup for those who signed up for the service and will continue until it is complete. They will not double back to properties that have already received pickup and did not sign up through City Hall prior to the deadline of April 11th, which means the mayor's office.
We did post today on Facebook that the pickup is actually taking just a little bit longer than we anticipated because people are utilizing cleanup week. So keep it out there while they're coming around. Don't think that if you get missed by Friday that the opportunity is over. It can stay out there. Just know that it might take a couple of days for us to get through.
That happened last year too, and there were calls about that, but the Public Works guys were great about going around and catching everybody. And I have to say, thank you to the Public Works folks for doing this and for hosting the cleanup day on Saturday. Folks, if you're looking for some service hours, it's a great time to be out there. It's gonna be a beautiful morning, Saturday morning, and is there still an Easter egg hunt?
Yes.
Yes, there may be a secret Easter egg hunt after the event. If your
Not
kids are looking for. Well, I heard something about golden eggs and.
There's some golden eggs and prizes.
Golden eggs and prizes, so that might be a little bit fun in Mitchell Bailey Park around noon time, if folks are listening, wanna bring the children, that would be a good time. But and thank you to code enforcement too, I don't know if Chris is listening, but he has, for those of you, you might not know, he has really been working with residents of the city of Baldwin to clean up their property. It's supposed to be a beautification week, and I have been seeing the piles grow in front of some yards, and it's already looking better, so thank you so much to our code compliance officer.
He spent, I think a week or maybe 2 weeks and went out to houses, just introduced himself and handed them a flyer. He was like, hey, take advantage of this. It's an opportunity to get rid of your unwanted items and you don't have to pay for it. So he invested a lot of time to ensure that people were utilizing services here.
Yeah, that's great. And so our second announcement, join us for Theron's Theater, previously Movies in the Market, at the Tap Yard on April 25th at 8 p.m. for free screening of The Wild Robot. Bring a chair or a blanket and enjoy the night under the stars with your friends and family. Concessions are available with all proceeds going to Shop with a Hero. Any other announcements from council? No? I'd like to take a point of privilege and to thank the media for coming to retreat. It was good to see everybody there. Thank you to staff for organizing a great retreat and our department heads being available to us. Yes, it was budget presentation. If you've been on social media, you have seen discussion of our budget. And again, it was a budget presentation. We look forward to talking to all citizens in Baldwin about the budget and where it's headed. There are some big conversations to have. Jerry likes the word looming. the conversations are moving as well. So, we have another month or so before we're voting on the budget. What, did we have an early deadline this year that you wanted us to hit for the budget?
The goal was May, the middle of May. It may go a little bit longer because we want to make sure that we can get out the town hall dates.
Great, okay. Yeah, and be listening for that the budget town hall too. Our department heads are usually there, council is there, and it's always a good time to talk to us about your vision for the city too. Speaking of visions for the city, we also have the comprehensive plan that's coming up, and we talked a little bit about that in retreat. And for those listening on Facebook, our comprehensive plan is just that. Where do you want to see the city in 5 or 10 years? And we're always looking for feedback from our residents, but join the committee as well to be on the comp plan committee. That is a very important piece of what we do. Any announcements from staff?
City offices will be closed on Friday for Good Friday.
Thank you. Good Friday will be closed, but the usual PD, will be open, of course. That's it. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Councilman Benton. Do I have a second? A second from our birthday girl. All those in favor? And any opposed? We are adjourned.
Happy birthday, Nancy.
Happy birthday, Nancy.